Joseph Mbu's time as Commissioner of Police in Rivers State. If you do, I'd like to hear your thoughts on how you think his time was like. But on the Daily Trust, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police Joseph Mbu has expressed disappointment over what he perceives as the lack of recognition for his contributions to the political career of former Rivers State Governor and current FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Speaking with Daily Trust on the political crisis ongoing in the state between Wike and his successor, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Mbu, whose role during the 2014-2015 political crisis in Rivers State had often been described as controversial, stated that despite his efforts, especially during Wike's political rise, he feels unappreciated, particularly by Wike himself. Mbu recounted instances where he felt abandoned, such as when he was contesting his retirement and reached out to Wike for support, only to be ignored. He highlighted his close relationship with Wike, stating he would have intervened in any personal issues the governor faced, but was disappointed when his calls went unanswered. Without me, he would not have become governor because I knew where to hit the government power, he said. Mbu also said that he has watched Governor Fubara, and that despite not knowing him, he can see that he's a thorough and sound person. All right, Joseph Mbu has just told us the role the police can play when there is a political impasse in Rivers State. And so it takes us back to, I'm sorry I'm bringing this up, anybody who's offended, my apologies before I even say it, but it takes us back to the era of the Assembly Complex brouhaha, where there was the explosion and then, the governor was going to see it and water cannon was used. I know that's water under the bridge. I know. But listening to Joseph Mbu, my mind cannot just help but go back to that time. So basically, I'm asking you, number one question, for those of you who are very much politically inclined, do you remember what Joseph Mbu's time was like 2014, 2015, a couple of years ago? Then Nyesom Wike was a governorship candidate. He has just left the office of the Minister for State for Education. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I think it was. And Joseph Mbu, yes, there was Amici at the time. There was also the House of Assembly saga. There was a talk of impeachment of the governor at the time as well. So, I don't know if I've been able to stir your memory a little bit, but let's go back 2014, 2015. But then again, to serious issues. State policing, right? We're talking about that. Now, Joseph Mbu was Commissioner of Police at the time when state policing was not even conceded. He, was a member of the federal police, so to say. And yet, there was we can say there was the federal might at play. We can say that, right, based on this confession. There was federal might at play at the time because Nyesom Wike had just been at the ministerial level at Goodluck Jonathan's government, so there was federal might. So you can see how that played out even in a state politics or state election. Imagine when we now have state police. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying anything about state police. I'm just trying to think based on what we have just seen. But it's one hell of a revelation, and I called it a wonderful interview, and I'm still insisting and reiterating that it is a wonderful interview. Now, there is the third angle to it, and the third angle to it is, how do we ensure, we've talked about this before, but I can't help but ask again, how do we ensure that our institutions are not bigger than, or are not smaller than our politicians? Yeah, our politicians are not bigger than our institutions. That's what I was trying to say. Because if Joseph Mbu's statement or confession is anything to go by, or any truth, iota of truth therein, then we want to think that as at 2014, 2015, the governor, or pardon me, please, my error. The former governor did not have as much political might as he has right now. He did not have as much political muscle as he has right now. So that means, he has now become a strong man that when he talks, the institutions in Nigeria are, shaking. So how do we ensure that we have stronger institutions where strong men cannot easily or can never even shake these institutions as we see in many other civilized countries? All right, that being said, let's quickly look at our second big story for the day. And our second big story has got to do with the PDP saga. And yes, that will make our conversation, the 4 o'clock hour. Hopefully, I will be talking to Ikenga Imo Ogochinyere, who is the House of Reps member representing Idelto North and South Federal Constituency of Imo State. Hopefully, he will join me via phone. And, the reason why he will join me at the 4 o'clock hour is to talk about the PDP House of Reps members, about 60 of them, threatening to dump the party over Rivers crisis, right? However, my focus for this hour is, the comment by the Reps Minority Caucus, and they have said disregard calls for PDP chairman's resignation. Oh, by the way, in case you do not know what is happening, the 60 reps who have threatened to leave the PDP are saying that Umar Damagam must go. And it reminds me yet again, I'm doing a lot of remembrance on the show, so please do follow me. It reminds me yet again of the situation Secondus must go. And then while we, got used to Secondus leaving, we then also heard that, what's his name again now? The one from Benue State. Oh, goodness me, just skipped my head right now. Oh my. Ayu! How could I forget? Ayu must go. And PDP seems to be doing the chairman must go. So I'm wondering who wants to be the next chairman, because, they might ask him to go as well. And you see, PDP seems to be very much politicized. Ever since Goodluck Jonathan lost the election, or better still, ever since Obasanjo's exit from office, PDP has become so politicized. I guess, Yaradua, they were just saying, okay, let's go along, and then Yaradua died, and all of the people who wanted to go along could not go along anymore. All of their self-interest began to play out at the time, and we saw the huddles, the fights, all of the battles that Goodluck Jonathan had to face, and then he lost the election eventually. After, of course, they pardoned him and they said, go 4 years, don't go again. All of those political talk. And ever since, PDP has been politicized, very much politicized. And right now we've seen, I can't remember the last time a PDP chairman, national chairman, enjoyed his stay in office, as chairman of the PDP. So I don't know. I'm wondering who would want to be the next chairman, given that whichever side he decides to side. Because of course Damagam is set to side Wike, and that's the reason why they want him out. That's the reason why they want to put him out. My goodness. And I do know that Damagam has said that there is a reconciliatory process ongoing, after which anybody found culpable will be punished. So I'm wondering why. But anyways, I'm talking 4 o'clock already. What I should be focused on is that the minority caucus at the House of Reps, they've come out to say, hey, disregard those calls, disregard all of them. I'm going to read quickly from the Vanguard a little bit of it. It says the House of Representatives Minority and People's Democratic Party caucus has disowned Rep. Ikenga Ogochinyere and the 60-member coalition of opposition lawmakers, saying such a body is unknown to the parliament and they refuse to be part of such coalition. This was contained in a statement issued on Tuesday in Abuja and co-signed by all the minority caucus leaders Kingsley Chinda, Ali Madaki, Ali Isa, and George Ozodinobi. All right. According to the statement, reacting to press conference addressed by Honorable Ikenga Ogochinyere and 5 orders with 54 imaginary members under the aegis of the coalition of opposition lawmakers, they said press conference was unparliamentary. Now, our attention has been drawn to a press release by the group and state unequivocally that the minority caucus and PDP caucus dissociate themselves from the said press statement. So the battle rages on. Yes, the battle is on. Oh my. River State is an eye of the storm. That's all I'm going to say concerning that. And I wonder what you're thinking about that one. But let's quickly look at my final big story for today. And you might not like this one as well. You might not like my big story, my third big story. And it's because I want to question, for those of you who have been critics of the president, if your criticisms have been too early or were made too early. And why am I saying that? We've seen certain gains, I think, was it last week? I think it was last week I came back from vacation, right? So it was last week you and I, we talked about the president's statement that, some of his policies are beginning to yield fruits, right? And I think even before I went for vacation, you and I, we talked, and we talked about the president's wife saying something about, renewed hope agenda yielding the fruits, right? And today we may be seeing certain, economic positives. For instance, like the main one, which we want to talk about today, if you're on Facebook and YouTube, you must have seen it, as well as on X. Now, the one we want to talk about today is the Naira gaining against the dollar. As a matter of fact, some people say that the Naira may reach 1,000 Naira in the nearest future, no distant future. And the reason is because, of course, you know already, that the CBN pegged the dollar to the Naira at 1,101 Naira. I think it sold to 1,588 BDCs. And the reason why it has done that, according to some economic analysts, is because the CBN is trying to limit the powers of speculators, currency speculators who speculate and make it very difficult for the economy to thrive, right? So we've now been made to understand that, yes, even though production is a major factor determining the strength of the currency, speculators can also make it worse. And all the while, speculators have been the ones who have made it very bad. And they are now saying to you and I that the CBN is choking, like we would say in our local parlance. I know choke is still an English word, but the way we use it in our English parlance, or our local parlance, I beg your pardon, they're choking. They're choking the BDCs, and they're trying to ensure that the BDCs, go look for some of the business instead of speculating the worth of the Naira as against other currencies. And the way it is, yes, managed, you can argue that, it's looking like the Naira will gain even more. And if the Naira gains even more, it is believed that in the long run, the prices of things will, reduce and become even more affordable by the citizenry of Nigeria. Also, the other policies like the recapitalization, for banks, the capital fund for banks, that also, according to some economic analysts, has given the economy some breather. How do I mean? Some say that banks who have been hoarding dollars do not have any choice but to change their dollars to Naira so that they can meet up the recapitalization, a quota as put by the CBN. Some say, okay, the banks are also going to look for foreign investors, which will bring in more dollar into the system, thereby allowing, the Naira to have some breather as well. Some even say that it has also reduced the quest for the dollar. It has reduced it because everybody, and Naira is also scarce to an extent because of the increased interest rates. So some people are saying all of these things are beginning to yield fruits. And then I'm thinking, on the show, a lot of people have called, a lot of people have criticized, some of you even attempted to insult the president. But look at how things are going now. Apart from apart from the electricity hike for Band A users. I don't think people are criticizing the policies of the president as they were a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. So the question then is, do you think we criticized the president too early? Was that too early? Do you see the president beginning to make inways into stabilizing the economy? And does all of do you think, how do I put this now, do you now have hope? Because his motto is renewed hope, right? So do you now have hope in this government to take Nigeria, even if not to the promised land, at least somewhere close to the promised land? So these are my 3 big stories. I could have told you what a former Reps member said about the political crisis in Rivers State, a former Rivers Reps member, but I'm going to skip that because I have only time for 3 big stories. So what I will do right now is open the phone lines, because I've been doing a lot of talking for the past about 17 minutes thereabout. So it's time for me to get your views. It's time for me to get your thoughts. Remember, I am live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. I am live on YouTube as well, Nigeria Info PH, and we are active on X, Nigeria Info PH. All right, that being said, I'm going to read some messages before I open the phone lines on Facebook. Let's see, I got a couple of messages there. Thank God that Billy Chatwegbu, Joseph Mbu, is indirectly telling us that he played a dirty game between Wike and Amechi when he was the commissioner of police in Rivers State. Naira gains against the dollar and prices of various commodities are still on the increase. Who is deceiving who? All right. Sam Brown says, Imbu's comment about Wike should be a lesson to public officers. Can one say it serves him right? Maybe it's entirely if you're petty like that, entirely your prerogative, right? Wisdom Joseph says, good afternoon, Carl. Please, I hope if those 60 reps member finally defect, they would vacate their seat, just as Ugochinyere called Rivers defected lawmakers and lawful wicked boys. And I plan to ask that question, trust me. Erika or Chuku says, Wike is fighting everyone that made him. Amechi, former First Lady, and Justice Mary Adeli. God, what is happening to this man? You said. All right, Nwuke God's Will says, good afternoon, Canada. Each day we can see while in River State. We don't tire, beg me, can I talk development in River State? All right. Thank you very much. Let's see who is on the phone lines. Who's there on the phone lines there? 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003 and 0817-923-0007. WhatsApp number 0809-0306416. JJ, it's been a long time. You were my first call on Big Stories. JJ, welcome. What is on your mind?
Canada.
Yeah,
good
welcome.
afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me talk on this Umbu story. For people like us, you don't need to remind us of Umbu's works when he was here. Everything he said is true. We also have people who the former governor don't even recognize anymore when he's talking about his history. He doesn't even mention them. Mama Peace now. Contributions and all this put together. Even the one he talked about, they will call me at midnight. They ask me to do this, I do. They do this, I do. And at the end of the day, we are here today. They have become this man and this woman. So I want people, because our people will say that when grant drop person when they front, person when they back, suppose you can take wise. Okay. So I want people to also learn from this cry of the former super policeman who said he came to River State and tamed the lion here, to also learn. I want to call on Disu, Mr. Tunji Disu, to also learn seriously from this Umbu story, because our people will say that an old woman saw snuff and was praising that snuff seriously. Put that snuff in the mouth. After 2 minutes, spat it away, and a little boy asked the old woman, Mama, as you praise this snuff rich, why you not swallow them? That is what will happen to those who are supposed to do fairly, do things rightly, and they will want to take side. So please, please go and read this one of Umbu so that you know how to do.
JJ,
so that you don't take side at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
Susie from Irema. Susie, welcome. What is on your mind?
Here. Kalada, good evening.
Yeah, it's afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
The lamentation of Mr. Mbu is not only for Mr. Mbu. Even the followers of politicians, as we are also doing a very wrong path. Even the last caller know what I'm talking about. We have not behaved well. If we are beginning to advise people to actually act in tandem with morality. As at the time Mbu acted the way he acted in River State, he was a professional police officer. That is in public place. He collected his salary and all of that. So he's coming back today to also lament. I want to also put that together to our own experience. As followers of politicians, how do we treat each other? We are even swindling ourselves. As followers, you can imagine we are 3 or 4 persons who go to some places and they will give you money. But you will share it to yourself. You hide it as a person. So at the end of the day, what of it tomorrow? God promotes the other man. Would you not also want to have something from him? So when we talk about the issue of people acting well, we should be able to look at ourselves first as a people. You as a person, you have betrayed even as Susie, as far as I'm concerned. So I love this topic that who is coming to lament today.
All right.
That is how every other person will also lament.
All right.
Let me talk about. Sorry.
I don't have time. I'm sorry. I don't have time. I've got to move on. Dakuku from Eche, welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
This is Dakuku from Apokeche.
Yeah, Dakuku, welcome.
Let me tell you, my brother Canada, my Rivers man, Tinubu cannot take Nigeria to any place. Talk of the promised land as Nigeria is now. I'm just speaking to you. There are a lot of people are dying for hunger and other hardship. So Tinubu can never take us to any place. Another one, let me go for PDP, this House of Rep, who said they are going.
Are you there, Dakuku? Are you there?
River State continue. I support them. Let them defend another party. Because these people being the national chairman is not doing anything. Since this crisis in River State, he have not uttered anything. And so let me settle of this problem between him and his godfather. He have not talked anything. He is a good leader. No. Let them resign and go and defend another party. But let them carry the party along. Or they have to stop the national chairman. I know he was appointed. Not a member of the nation. So they can do that. Because this thing has become worse in River State. I am not happy for it in my own state. Other states are very quiet. But the River State, every day we are seeing crisis. It's a very difficult. I don't like it. I get to my point.
All right.
So, Canada, let me say, I'm coming to your office tomorrow. I'm coming to discuss something because you are coming on Sunday to visit me. Let me stop here. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Ida from Ikoro, welcome, Ida. It's good to have you.
Canada, I agree with you,
I agree to you.
I want to talk about the lawmaker, the city lawmaker.
All right.
They should not the right thing at the right time will be done. And let me tell you one thing. Team is not going to depend on any other party. We in PDP. Whoever says team is the leader of PDP, nobody can take it from me. Those who put their name in backdoor, let them parade themselves now. They will be arrested and lock them up. So they should please allow River State to be peaceful. Other states are moving on. They should use their strength to support the governor so that River State can move further. About Imbu's story, Imbu head governor Wike very, very well. Canada, 2015, I, Honorary Da, even head Governor Wike when APC men are printing results in D9.
That's an allegation, and you're indicting yourself. Just so you know. That's an allegation, and you are indicting yourself. Anyways, thank you very much, Ida. I've got Steve from Port Harcourt. Oh, wow, I missed that one. Please do call back if you can. But let's read some messages, and let's start with this one. It says, good afternoon, Mr. Kalada. Tell Mbu that he's still in his morning. Afternoon has not come. Others should learn from him. And this one says, good afternoon, Kalada. Ha, ha, ha. I actually waited for this day. Wike used Mbu and dumped him. That serves Mbu right. Rotimi Amechi should be laughing at this moment. On Dada from Umwebule. I'm sorry. This one says, good afternoon, KD. Which contribution? Harassing Amechi, blocking him from entering the government house? I laugh in my language. Hoo. There is no good reward for the wicked. Imbu to me was out of line. He even arrested a journalist, Amechi Anakwe of AIT, for referring to him as controversial. It was a god in River State. I'm happy he got nothing in return. Dave. This one says Joseph Imbu as a CP in River State was virtually at the beck and call of a certain first lady and under Wike's control. Even whilst there was a governor, Amechi, on the seat. He had all the logistics and remunerations he needed to unseat Governor Amechi. What else does he want from Wike? Let him make do with all the largesse he enjoyed to do the dirtiest for Wike whilst the friendship lasted. Godspar, Igwe, Eleme. Keep those calls coming in. I want to hear from you. This one says, hello, Canada. One sure way to make our institutions stronger and the governors or politicians weaker is by drastically reducing the money available at the politicians' reach. Once this is done, you will render them powerless. A governor or any politician at all shouldn't be in control of funds or even earn so much. After all, they are there for service. Bernard from Port Harcourt. Let's take this one. Michael in Ugeli, Delta State. The statement from the minority caucus is no surprise considering the names linked to it. Sadly, we can all see that it's people watching from outside that are now fighting more to save the soul of River State. Let the good people of River State, the most educated and the most uneducated, stand up and stop those bent on frustrating the governor so they can discredit any other riverine candidates in future elections. Rivers people, shine your eyes and not tell people. Rivers people, shine your eyes and not tell people bold enough to confront your bad leaders to mind their business in their states, while the governor should concentrate on what will endear him more to the good people. It was difficult reading that message, but thank you nonetheless, Michael in Ugeli. Let's see. This one says, in my opinion, until Naira becomes 150 to $1, just know that President Tinubu has not done anything tangible. President Tinubu should not be praised yet because he has not done anything yet. I don't have any hope in President Tinubu right now. From Woji. People like Joseph Imbu should be answering questions by now in the hands of the DSS, evil as a way of paying back. In my wildest dreams will I have thought that Imbu will make this kind of statement a lesson to all of us. Mike from Thai. And this one says, good afternoon, Kalada. Whatever the FCD minister did to Imbu as for not picking his call serves him right. He left his job and was doing the beating of the FCD minister then. That should be pointed to those of them following the FCD minister now. Their own pound of flesh is coming. Odi Mugu Sonny Didia from Omorelu. And this one says, good afternoon. The FCD minister and his political friends are not allowing the governor to concentrate. The minister is always coming to birthday celebrations to make disdainful comments. It is disdainfully shameful. Okoroma Godwin Chicks from Erema community. And this one says, good day, Mr. Imbu lamenting come 2027 weekend President Tinubu will march out. Tinubu will regret bringing Wike to his cabinet. Will go Sunday. And this one says, Tinubu's policy is not yielding anything for the poor Nigerians because it is just for the rich. Thank you, Emmanuel from Iwofe. And this one says, institutions are strong where the people respect the law and live by the law. But in Nigeria, many people only support a law when it favors them. And same people will be unwilling to submit to the rule of law when it is unfavorable to them. The current political brouhaha in Rivers State is a case study. If you remember, many Rivers people have been demanding an independent House of Assembly free from control of the governor. But today, some people are now asking for a puppet assembly because the current assembly structure is not in favor of their political interests. This is also applicable to the local councils in Rivers State. The law recommends democratically elected chairmen, but some people are urging Governor Simfaba to ignore the constitution and appoint caretakers in place of the law. So how will institutions be stronger than individuals in Nigeria if we continue in this behavior? Emifiaga 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003 and 0817-923-0007. Those are the call numbers. Call me right now and I'll take your calls. You also have the opportunity to send me WhatsApp messages to the number 0809-030-6416. We're live on Facebook, Nigerian for PH. We're live on YouTube, Nigerian Interpret, and we're active on X. Zachariah Owubokiri Kwani on Facebook says, Disregard calls for PDP chairman resignation by Reps Minority Caucus. This is a welcome development. Let this Del Rivers people and Nigerians allege that the PDP national chairman is very much competent and does not need to resign. I've got Obed, or rather Steve first. Steve is calling from Port Harcourt. Steve, welcome. Is on your
Canada,
mind.
good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
My name is Steve Mbo.
All right. Quickly, please.
Yes. Today we are doing a little retrospection.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so... Take it. So on that note now, your first speaker called us to mind. Sorry, can I mention name if possible?
Just go straight to the point. We don't have time. We have other people waiting.
Okay, yes. Our first speaker, JAJ, our very good man on radio in River State. At that 2014-2015, he was one of those. I don't know whether he wanted to walk to London or to test. If Wike should win, he was on radio 24 hours against Wike. Today, I think he has changed camp. He belongs to PDP. He has been taken appointment in PDP. So in introspection, when we are talking morality, I don't know how to go to call it, should follow us whatever we are doing. We are looking at somebody, let us look at our own self too, so that this society will grow. Because that is what I'm trying to emphasize. So the introspection for Joseph Mbu, JJ commented on this. I want to comment on JJ that he did more than what everybody
thank you very much, Steve. I've got to move on now. Obed from Port Harcourt, welcome. Obed, are you there?
Okay, so what do we do now? Where are we about?
All right, Obed, when you are settled, you call me. I've got Real Gift from Port Harcourt Township. Real Gift, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Real Gift.
I will tell you what's in my mind.
All right, let's hear you then.
You know, we are told in my community that the cane used on the first wife is not thrown away, but reserved somewhere for the second wife. That is for every time. I don't know if I should include myself. That's for the politicians, the ones, the followers, the police officers, if every Tamland in the mix. You understand my point?
All right.
Because the truth is this: when you do some of these things, don't forget that tomorrow will come, and it might affect you also. Just like now, somebody has opened the book of Lamentation. But the problem I have now is that I don't know the chapter where I go read from. You understand? And on the issue of those, the threat by the PDP House of Reps members to defect, just like somebody asked, if they defect now, that every time now Dokubo has seen that there is a crisis, will they also vacate their seat, explaining to them or to us what crisis means?
All right, then.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Real Gift. God's Power from Eche. Welcome, God's Power. It's good to have you on the show.
Hello, Canada.
Yeah. Welcome, God's Power.
Yes. Naira is now the party. It's a good development. I think I had 1,100.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
And by God's grace, we're coming down gradually. And my problem is all these things that have gone high. How would they do it so that they can come to at least reduce a bit for the common people? And for Mbu's story, he's saying the truth. He was doing the bidding of his master at that time. And he's now telling us, when they're asking, he was denying. He was doing as if he didn't know what he's doing. That's why I named one of my grandsons Tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow. Because tomorrow is still slippery.
All right.
The evil that you do today will follow you. The good will say you do will follow you.
All right.
And Lamenting telling us.
All right, then.
It's a story. And it's a lesson for many other people to learn how to follow and what to do so that they know by tomorrow. Tomorrow, nobody knows it. And again, too, let them play the game according to the rules. Because Nigeria, we are, it's a very critical situation. You find ourselves.
All right.
So for we to be on the server side, is to play according to the rules.
All right, then.
Individual cannot be greater than institutions. But in Nigeria here, institutions are serving the people instead of people respecting the institutions.
God's Power, I've got to go.
That's the level we have in Nigeria.
All right.
And they don't have a democratic setup. This one we are doing is just
A mockery of democracy.
God's power.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. I've got to let you go. It was even noisy. David Otiasa Jr. says it's a good thing that the policies of the president is yielding positively, and as such, the Naira is gaining grounds against the dollar. But my worry is that as a state, we have to move into massive industrialization and also a reduction of electricity tariffs, which in turn will boost the economy. And Ayanaya Emmanuel says, if I may ask you, Kalada, which one is an allegation? My problem with you journalists, and moving on. Aleru Speed says, good afternoon, Kalada. The lamentation of Joseph Mbu is one of the least, because the Wike that I know is a betrayal, a chronic one, you said, and a bound, I don't get that part, but thank you very much. I've got Gift from Yenegwa. Gift, welcome. What is on your mind?
Kalada, my brother, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Let me just tackle these issues very fast.
Okay.
I read that very daily trust in Joseph Mbu, former commissioner. Just like what Susie was saying, as a professional police officer, I am disappointed in him at retirement right now. What is the meaning of this lamentation? Tell me one governor that has taken care of Nigerian police force 1999 to date, like Ezebonye Wike. Tell me. Even federal government, if you die during your official job, go and calculate the amount they are giving to them. Then look at the 8 years of Ezebonye Wike. Not even Lagos State. The only good thing about Lagos State, that trust fund, where companies and private men and women are donating funds to. But in terms of using government funds to take care of Nigerian police force, is it Joseph Mbu that Wike will take care of? That people are now sounding where they are sounding. As far as I'm concerned, it is a disappointment to Nigerian police force.
But
Gift, should come and look at how he's even talking about the governor president.
Gifts. I get your context. But I guess the context a lot of people, including this conversation, is looking at it from is the context where he said he may have flouted the law. I mean, there is the allegation that he was used by the FCT minister at the time, to oppress the then government of Rivers
Was
State.
the FCT minister today then that as a minister for state education, was he the president? Mention the name of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
But he said, but he. I mean, you are not him. You are not there. He said.
That is what I am telling you. Don't follow his mouth. The only person that can command police force, it is the president.
Really?
Not even the sitting governor. That's why he could even block Rotimi Shibika and Meshi as a sitting governor.
Okay, all right.
How can you tell me that a governor and a minister, that a minister is the one giving orders?
Okay.
It is the president. He should just know where it's coming from. Let me talk about Ugo.
No, I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I'm sorry, I've got to go. Gift. I'm really sorry. I've got Court from Choba. Court, welcome. Quickly, tell me what is on your mind. I'd like to hear.
Yeah, former police boss Joseph Mbo said that he played a major role for former governor Ezebonye Wike, a badge as a governor of Rivers State. I was ringing my head. What kind of role a police boss to play?
Interesting. He said he knew where to hit the government. He said he knew where he could hit the government, and the government could not do anything. He knew where he could hit the government, according to. Oh my, you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
What do you want to say?
Oh my, sorry about that. I've got to let you go then. I've got Jude. Jude, welcome. What's on your mind? Please tell me.
Yes, Canada. The lamentation of Joseph Mbo. I really don't know what he's trying to do by lamenting. Does he want to attract sympathy?
Interesting.
This is the beginning. And it should be a lesson to those who do not what we call principle. Principle is doing what you know is right and just and stand by it. That's what principle is. His lamentation, I guess, he may have a family. The children or the family or the wife or his relations are listening to what he said he did. Those things he did for former Governor Wike, Were they just? Were they the right things to do? The answer is no. Shakespeare once said, the evil that men do lives after them. But when I change it by saying the evil that men do lives before them.
Okay.
Joseph Umbo, a police officer, if he had done what he was supposed to do, the right thing and the just thing, probably he wouldn't have been lamenting. Even if everybody is against him, right inside his mind or heart, he would have been justified. But because he did the wrong thing, he did what he shouldn't have done, maybe for something.
All right, Jude, I've got
so
to go.
This is the beginning. More things will come his way.
All right, then.
And he has a lot to regret throughout his life.
All right, I wonder if that's...
It's a lesson to others. Okay. Do what is right and just, and you'll be a happy man.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much, Jude. Jude, I've got to go. Thank you very much. I want to read some messages. I've got a few more minutes left on the clock. This one says, the difference between President Tinubu and the past president is that President Tinubu is more committed than them. We shall get close to where we want to go, Shah. Even though not exactly where we want to go, but there is hope. I mean, and then you said, do you remember how Wike used civilian Khan of INEC and Domtar? Wike is a wonderful man. Who's civilian Khan? I don't know that person, but anyways, thank you very much. He says, good afternoon, brother. Confession time. Imagine how the former commissioner of police in River State is lamenting to me. The police command should arrest that man and prosecute him and use him as an example to order police officers, and the police is taking side now. The former governor is using 2 escort bikes to flag on his car in a state where we have a governor. I feel the IJ of police and the commissioner of police in the state have compromised. Thank you and bye-bye for now, Ibiso. This one says, good afternoon, Canada. It is shameful that while other states are seriously delivering governance, River State is always in the news for negative development and political anomalies. Best in Port Harcourt. This one says, Port Harcourt, good afternoon, Canada. Mr. Mbu's statement is not wrong, or supposedly meant that he helped make sure that the right thing is done. In the BC with that one. This one says, Joseph Mbu is using the media to get paid back for the FCT minister. Why did he fail to be professional in his job? I think his lamentation is enough evidence against him and the FCT minister in any court. Justice A from Port Harcourt. This one says, good afternoon, Canada. I am so happy with what Mbu has said. When he was the CP in River State, he allowed himself to be used as an attack dog to former Governor Amechi by Patience Jonathan and Yeson Wike. He shouldn't be lamenting. What's playing out now is karma. This is just the beginning, and I believe this will sound as a warning to all police officers out there. Wogo Eric from Port Harcourt. This one says, I have no hope in President Tinubu. My hope is on God. Elliot from Choba. This one says, Canada, good afternoon. Today people are blaming Mbu, but they forget that some time ago they were abusing Wike when they were in APC. Later, when they came to PDP, they started praising Wike. Today they're against him. God's day from Port Harcourt. This one says, Naira gains against dollar, yet the price of goods in the market is still high. Where exactly is the dollar reduction affecting? Could it be that only governments are beneficiary of these dollar theme? Greetings, Mr. Canadana. And it could be that, the people who are still selling their commodities and offering their services at higher prices are doing so because they used higher amounts to, buy those stuff. And so until they regain their profit or they gain their profits, they may not bring down the price, or else you're asking them to take a loss. I think that's one factor we need to put into cognizance or consideration while we talk about the pricing of commodities in the marketplace. But this one says, I want to ask a simple question. Why is it that downfall of the dollar against the Naira is not reflected on the prices of fuel? Because when the dollar rose against the Naira, the price of fuel rose up. Georgia from Abaripo. I think I just explained that. So eventually we may see a reduction in price. Now, the funny thing is, people who wanted Nigerian Info to be shut down because they were asking for a reverse budget and now using Nigerian Info to lambast Wike daily, black people self. NS from Hoji. This one says, the political crisis in River State will bring to an end the political party called PDP Nigeria. And then you said, please tell Joseph Mbu that the cosmic law states that whatever you sow, you must reap. Fidelis Elemoa from Chokocho, HA. Oh, wow. I've got a lot of messages. I think I would have to take a post now. But I'm going to read this one. Let's see. I think I've read your message, but I'm going to try to... Okay. He said, man of the people, 60 rep members demanding for immediate resignation of PDP National Chairman is a welcome call. Have Nigerians wondered why the Magam kept quiet while 27 members of Rivers State House of Assembly elected on the platform of PDP left the party? He kept quiet while they were threatening to impeach a governor in his party. If PDP fails to remove the Magam, PDP should forget about the party. One man wants to be all in all in PDP when it is obvious that he is playing anti-party with PDAPC. From Tangled Ability at Twigbo. Oh my. This is good day, Mr. Canada. Law from Bakana. Mr. Mbu, the most professional officer in 2014-2015, the Nigeria police officer, is today. What an irony. This is a moral lesson for every human on the planet Earth. But to Mbu, I say a very big thank you very much. But moving on, you said, as for the Naira gaining grounds against the dollar, we wanted to reflect on the reduction in the prices of goods.